bought the car as a restored car. It's sort of a strange story. About 25 years ago, a fella in New Jersey, where I'm originally from, decided to go to Carlisle Swap Meet to buy his wife a toy, and she wanted some kind of a sports car, or whatever. Well, he didn't see what he wanted, and he found this restored 32, so he bought it for her. Well, as you know, old cars are a little harder to steer, a little harder to stop, the lights don't always work the best, etc., etc. And it ended up getting stored for about 10 years in my friend's garage. And so at any rate, it was stored there, and I knew about it. I'd never seen it, and I knew about it. And so all of a sudden it was for sale, and I ended up buying it, bring it out here. And my intention as a restored car was to leave it alone or sell it if somebody wanted it, whatever, and I paid a fair amount for it. But at any rate, I ended up, as usual, fell in love with it, and I decided what I wanted to do is make a hot rod. I like early stuff that a guy would have done when he came out of the service, World War II, Korean War, whatever, something he'd been thinking about. So what I did was I took a restored vehicle, which in those days would have been a good old stock vehicle, and make it a hot rod. So what I did was a certain look I wanted to make. I'm really into stance, and time means nothing because I do it myself. And the paint was good on it. The black fenders, the green body, I haven't touched it. And anyway, I'll go over it a little bit. I had some old V8 friends of mine. We came and checked, and it's determined that this car has. First of all, the car came out of the state of Maine. Now, in the state of up in New England, there are a lot of open cars on the road. However, most of them weren't driven in the winter, so they were put away up in blocks and whatever. Anyway, this car, we're certain, has brand new old stock Ford fenders. There's no cracks, no repairs anywhere in the fenders. And so anyhow, I put some extras on it. One is this Pines winter front grill, which was very rare. It was a rare accessory that worked thermostatically like a Mack truck. However, everybody cuts the cable, and I have it controlled by a cable inside. The louvers open and close as you desire. Of course, I always leave them open, but it's a pretty rare piece. 7 years ago, I had an extra one that was like this restored. I sold it for $3,000 at the LA Roadster show. I understand the guy resold it in Arizona for $5,000. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I was told. Anyway, I like this type of headlight. It's a Ford bar drop, not a Chinese piece. And I went over the car entirely. I left on the mechanical brakes and put in a dropped axle, which is a major engineering feat. And I wanted to use mechanical brakes because I've been told how they don't work. Well, what I did was put everything new on it, and the Ford brakes were originally designed, when you stepped on a pedal, one shoe came out which forced the other shoe out. On the fronts here, I've got it, there's an eccentric device that pushes both shoes out. This car stops as well as any 32 or any 39 to 48 Ford, in my estimation, and it stops fine. And I've had no problem with it. People say, oh, the mechanical brakes don't work. Well, they do work. At any rate, I've got 35 Ford wire wheels on it that I got from a friend of mine in New Jersey. I looked at a lot of them. They were badly rusted. These things have been in storage for many, many years. And they were good. There was no rust on them, no spoke thickness or size diminished or anything. Now, the motor it's got a 21 stud engine in it, which is what you turn to be a 34 engine. Now, I have on it an Edelbrock slingshot manifold with 297s. That's the one that Edelbrock Senior started out with in the 30s. So that manifold is a pre-World War II Edelbrock manifold, not the new one. The cylinder heads are a Roscoe reproduction Eddie Meyer heads. They're brand new, because if you find the original ones, 21 stud, you end up with $1,000 worth of repair work, and they're still not as good. I've got headers on it. I also have something I had from my high school days, which, hate to admit, was 60-some years ago. I've got a Dynamag magneto on this. I only know of 2 other people even knew what it was. I got it from a guy had it on an oval track car in New Jersey, an old stock car, and it works fine. I have a separate switch under the dash to start it. It works fine. It doesn't like getting wet, but it works fine. Now, this motor, somebody left a lot of clearance in this thing. When it starts up, oil pressure is right up 80, 90 pounds, but idling when it's warm, it gets down around 20 or so. And however, I've driven it for 12 years, never had a problem. I do put 50 weight oil in it, even a little STP, because in my head it helps it. It's got a 32 transmission in it, because in 32, or the early V8 years, Ford stamped the serial number on the motor, the chassis in 3 places, including where you can visually see it there, and the transmission. This is a 32 transmission, still has the original VIN number on the transmission. This car must have been low mileage because the steering was like brand new, 32 steering. I tilted the steering down to make it a little bit more comfortable, but it's original 32 steering, and it works fine. I chopped the windshield, it's a reproduction windshield. I chopped the windshield 2 inches to go along with the hot rod look. Still has the cowl vent. The radiator, I had taken it out to get it cleaned out or cored. I'd taken it apart. I found out they didn't take it apart. When you're on the highway and you're running at 55, or you run the motor up and the radiator's full, it pushes a little water out because it isn't circulating quick enough. But I mean, it's just something, it's just, Ford's did it anyhow, so I'm just part of it. I have thermostats in the upper radiator hose. I got Stewart Warner gauges, all the gauges work fine. Let's see now, let me think about this. I've got the original, my understanding is Ford got rid of the Oklahoma in May of 32. This car came with the Oklahoma and still has it on there, so it's pre-May 32. My cars have to have a 40 steering wheel, which this has. I put directional signals on it. Let's see. It's got Stewart Warner gauges. That's a panel that Stewart Warner used forever in boats and hot rods. They had a different name for it for boats as they did hot rods, but it's the same panel. That's what I used. It's got Baron Labonte upholstery in it. Gotta think what else. It has a rumble seat, upholstered rumble seat, where my grandkids like to ride, and with the steps and all. And it's got a 32 rear. I lowered. I took a few leaves out because the stance of the car to me is ultra important. I got dual exhaust course on it, and in the back, there's not too many choices on taillights you can use, but in this one I used 39 taillights, and I'm sort of a nut on 50. I think it was 49 and 50. I think I'm right. 50 Chevrolet and Pontiac used this license plate light. I got a pair that were chromed. I used them on my other cars also, but I just love those things.
Yeah, they're cool.
And so that's 50 Chevrolet, and I got what they call the pea shooter pipes, which was sort of the rage. And but other than that, it's got Coker tires on it. I'm not always keen on ply tires, but it's the look, you have to have it. So it's the look, and it rides halfway decent. It could be better, but it's typical old Ford. So, and it tracks straight, and even the mechanical brakes, it stops in a straight line. There's no, I know in later mechanical brakes, 37, 38. I had a 38 one time, and you step on mechanical brakes, and you're wondering which wheel was going to lock up. This does not do that. And it stops in a normal straight pattern. So.
Well, great, Pete.
That's it. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, well.
I don't have a top. I was going to make a top, but I've got the header bow, but I just decided not to do it. So it does not include a top.
Okay, Pete. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Also have, it's also a 12-volt generator. I had to convert it to 12 volts. Everything's, that's what I just said, everything's 12 volts.
Drink.
Too. When you pull up the emergency brake, the way they've got the levers, it squeezes all four wheels. No, but nothing else other than the car ever did that. In other words, when I pull back in that handle, the emergency brake is pinching the brakes on four wheels. Isn't that weird? When you think about it, it's not, nothing's ever been done that way that I know of.